All right, guys, welcome to the video on solving one-step and two-step equations. So first we're going to focus on one step and make sure you've mastered that. So an equation always has an equal sign. And then something that we use when solving equations are inverse operations. And inverse operations are two operations that undo each other. For example, to undo addition, we do subtraction. To undo multiplication, we do division. So those are called inverse operations. And the flip works too. If it's division, we do multiplication. If it's subtraction, we do addition. So when solving equations, we use inverse operations to get the variable alone. Okay, so I hope these are going to be really easy today. We're just going to practice using inverse operations to get the variable alone and solve the equation. Okay, so number one, I always like to draw a wall and I locate my variable and I say, okay, whatever the other number is doing, I want to do the inverse so that x can be alone. So to undo adding 7, I want to do the inverse, which is subtracting 7. Now we have to keep the hanger balanced, so we have to do it to both sides. Now when you do that inverse step, they always cancel. They undo each other. And let's just see what's left. X equals, and then we're just going to add like terms, or in this case 4 minus 7, and that's negative 3. Okay, number 2, let's just keep going, power through these. So number 2, draw the wall. Now, if I want to get x alone, how do I undo minus 12? Hopefully you guys are saying add 12. And make sure you do it to both sides. Again, that undoing step will always cancel. And we're left with x equals 3 plus 12. Those are like terms, so we add them and get 15. And if you guys ever need a calculator on these, that's totally fine. Okay, number 3, draw the wall. All right, so what's going on here? When two things are touching, that's really multiplication. So to undo multiplying by negative 6, the inverse is divide both sides by negative 6. And again, the undoings will cancel. And in this one, x is going to be 48 divided by negative 6 is negative 8. All right, number 4, draw the wall. To undo dividing by 4, we multiply by 4. Okay, the undoings cancel, and x is going to be 5 times 4, which is 20. Okay, now 2 that are a little bit harder, and that's typically going to happen. Let's try number 5. So draw the wall. All right, what do we got here? We have negative 2/7 times x. So to undo multiplying by negative 2/7, we could divide both sides by negative 2/7. Okay, but I have actually a better way for you guys. So I want you to write off to the side here. One thing you could do is divide both sides by negative 2/7. And if you want to do that, totally fine. But there's another way to do it. Dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal, negative 7/2. So you flip it. Okay, so just a heads up, dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal, meaning you just flip it. And I actually like this way better. It just helps me do the math easier, but you guys can pick. All right, so in this example, to undo multiplying by negative 2/7, instead of dividing, I'm going to multiply by the flip, negative 7/2. Okay, the inverses undo each other, and we're left with x equals 4 times negative 7/2. You can do it in the calculator, or 4 times negative 7 is negative 28. Divided by 2 is negative 14. So either way you guys do it, Let's see if you get negative 14. All right, lastly, number 6, I'm going to draw the wall. Now, it doesn't matter which side you're working on. It's whichever one the variable is on. So to undo minus 2 from the t, we're going to add 2 to both sides again. Again, the undoings cancel, and it really doesn't matter the order that you write it. So 8, right? So t equals 8. If you guys wrote it as 8 equals t, that is totally fine. The order doesn't matter. All right, that's it, guys, for one-step equations. Thanks for watching.